Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Edge of Eternities Draft here on the channel. Our pack has a Singularity Rupture in it, which is a strong rare. I've gotten to play with this one a couple of times, and it can definitely be a board sweeper that then puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to end the game, giving them like 5 or 6 turns, which can be really strong if they have no resources left over. It is 2 colors, though. I don't like committing super early to 2 colors. So I don't think I'm going to take that here. I think Dubious Delicacy is the best pick in this pack. It's so strong, great removal spell, super good utility on either gaining some life or making them lose life, and really good Void Enabler as well. Station Monitor is also strong, but I don't really love blue-white. And also it's, again, a committal 2-color card to start with. And then Larval Scoutlander would probably be my second pick out of this pack. Very strong card and opens up a lot of possibilities. Okay, so we've started with a black card, which means that we're first going to consider what the strongest black card in the pack is. I think Virus Beetle is better than Beamsaw Prospector, so Virus Beetle kind of goes against whatever the strongest contender is in another color. Alfariel is a nice card, but it's more of a pick it up in the middle of the pack once you're already blue-black type card. At this point, we've passed a couple of blue-black cards, which shouldn't be a huge consideration, because if blue-black is open, it's still going to be worth drafting, but we're going to pass the Alfariel. And then there's Starfield Shepherd, which I absolutely love. This card is really strong. Just getting a couple of planes is nice, and if you get a good 1-drop, like even a Starport Security gets a little bit of extra value when you have it in this sort of shell. So I think we will take the Starfield Shepherd here over the Virus Beetle. Again, we don't have to be black, and that's something to remember. Like, just because we first picked a black card doesn't mean we're going to be playing a black deck at the end of the day. Especially because Delicacy is a strong card, but by no means a you have to play it every single time type card. Okay, pick 3. There is the Sariemma, which is a card that if you have a legendary to go get is pretty solid, because a 5/5 flyer that only needs 7 to station and only costs 3 to play is pretty solid if you can get that going. It's just you don't always have a legendary to go get. I'd rather have a legendary and then play Sariemma. The other cards in this pack of consideration, I mean, Robe of Stars is not the greatest. It is just a little bit hard to use, though. +0/+3 is not nothing. Uthros Psionist is actually a pretty solid card. Dockworker Drone's okay. I think we're just going to speculate on Sariemma, though. This rest of this pack is pretty weak. Dockworker Drone is maybe the next best card for me. Maybe Uthros, which is a 3rd color. Robe of Stars, Melted Moxite. There's a lot of solid cards here, but we'll just speculate on Sariemma because it could be a really good card for us if we do see a legendary. Now, this pack has a few cards I like. There's Orbital Plunge, which I really like. There is Lashwhip Predator, which is good. And then there's Selfcraft Mechan. So those 3 cards are all quite good. I don't think I want to take the Lashwhip Predator. It's more of a defensive green card. So like blue-green likes it a lot more than green-white, because green-white's trying to be aggressive. So you're trying to like pressure your opponent. And this card's much better at catching you up because of the costing less if your opponent's pressuring you kind of text. I think Cellcraft Mechan is an option. Orbital Plunge is great removal, though. I just don't like red-white. Let's try out the Mechan. Yeah, I just don't really like the red-white decks. Ooh, there's Momenon. That's a good card for blue-red. There's also a Gravpack Monoist, which is quite strong. I mean, we did just see a red card. And we have the Sariemma, but the Sariemma isn't a card you really want to you don't want to play a double white card to go get a blue-red legendary usually. And this was more of a speculative pick than anything. There's Reroute Systems as a protection/minor kill spell. I'm very tempted to just take the Monoist. It's a very strong card. Momenon, really far from where I'm at right now. The other red cards aren't that strong. Let's just take the Monoist. Stay a little bit more stable. Now there is Alfariel and Emissary Escort. So Emissary Escort, totally solid option. Alfariel, we can get it with a Sariemma, but we don't really want to be splashing. It's looking like blue is open. Let's just take the 2-drop. I've been pretty impressed by just having good 2s. Alfariel is solid. I think it's going to be weird. We're going to be not seeing a lot of blue-black pack too, I don't think. Because we could still be blue-white is the thing. Okay, this card's pretty strong. Giga Storm Titan. I've been very impressed by this guy. And then I guess there's red-white stuff. There's Starfighter Pilot. Swarm color's fine, but so is Starfighter Pilot. So we're still choosing our second color. If we get a legendary, the Seriema Starfield Shepherd package gets a lot more appealing. Okay, Nutrient Block is great in whichever variant of this build we play. It just has a lot of synergies. It's super good with Self-Craft Mechan, because you get to like sacrifice it for not a huge amount of difficulty. This is just a creature with mana value 1. I don't like the Shield Mate. Reroute Systems is okay, but nothing crazy. Yeah, let's just get the Nutrient Block. I don't like Mechanozoa, but we'll take it here. It's the most playable of these options. Litho Breaking's a fine sideboard card, but we'll just take Mechanozoa. Maybe we'll try it. We did get that. Let's just take Lost in Space. Blue is our most guaranteed color. Even though Starport Security is nice with the Shepherd, it's looking like blue-black is a decent option for us as well, though. We first picked this card, and then we got one other black card, so black isn't looking the most open. Other than the Alfarials we were seeing. There is Wormwall Sweeper now. Or Galeblade. I don't love Galeblade, but I think I'll take it because it's a combo with the Starfield Shepherd, and also it is a card that is decent with the Giga Storm Titan. Let's take a Monoist Sentry now. Okay, pretty decent pack 1. But still lots of decisions to be made on which direction we are going to end up going. We're definitely playing blue. We would like to be a bit of an artifacts deck maybe to make some of our cards work, like our Emissary Escort. But we could be white or black, or I guess we could even dip into a different color because we have some options. The best card here for us might be Voidforged Titan. This card's pretty strong. Kind of can take over the game. It goes well in the blue-black artifacts deck. Blue-black potentially was open from the one side, even though I expect someone to have taken the 2 Alfarials and the board wipe. Depressurize. I don't think we're going to get into red here. And then Wedgelight Rammer is fine, but I'd rather just take a Voidforged Titan. Well, we did our job correctly. Quantum Riddler is a messed up card. Super strong. Well, I love seeing this. So in this point, because we know we're playing blue, every blue card's really good. If we weren't taking this, we would be jamming the Desculpting Blast. This card's also great. But Quantum Riddler's fantastic. Oh my goodness. It's not legendary though, so I can't get it with Seriema. But we are just seeing what's out there almost. Okay, now we get a Mechan Navigator, a really good card as well. The thing about this deck is every blue card is guaranteed to make the deck, and a card like Depressurize, which is a solid black card, isn't guaranteed to make the deck because I could still play blue-white technically, even though blue-black is looking by far the most likely. Monoist Sentry actually seems decent in this shell because I have a good number of defensive cards, like good late-game cards like Voidforged Titan and Quantum Riddler. Giga Storm Titan like seeing that, and then like a Cellcraft Mechan can sacrifice it in the late game. Okay, well, we're just going to keep jamming blue bombs. Starwinder's pretty nice. That's pretty good with Galeblade as well. Just having a cheap evasive creature. Yeah, let's take Starwinder. Alfarial, again, we just keep passing the Alfarial. Poor Alfarial, we've seen 3 of them. I mean, I think it's a good card. Our artifact count isn't even that high. It's 9, never mind, our artifact count is super high. But yeah, I think we're just going to keep taking these bombs. It's pretty cool the way this deck is shaping up. And then we get another Mechan Navigator or a Cellcraft Mechan. Let's check our curve real quick. Yeah, I think we need the 2-drop more than the 4-drop, even though the 4-drop would be solid for us with the Nutrient Block and like a Sentry to sacrifice. Okay, now we'll take Alfarial. Okay, at long last, Alfarial has made the fold. I mean, I'm not even that sad about all the ones we've passed because Alfarial, like, number 2, I guess you can discard it to the first one, but you'd rather just discard an artifact. Okay, blue-black is looking really open here. There is definitely going to be another blue-black drafter with all of the blue-black gold cards that have been going around, but I think we're in pretty solid shape here. We got a good number of 2-drops now. Ah, yes, the guideline station. Let's just take this guy and then not play him. I'd say this deck is looking pretty good. I don't want to play Mechanozoa. It's really not my type of card. It's just super expensive, and I've not been that impressed when my opponents have played it against me. I mean, Starwinder's probably not the greatest card, but it's super cool, so I like it for that reason. I would love to get... At this point, I'm kind of wishing I'd taken the Wormwall Sweeper, because I have 2 Mecha Navigators, and it's really good with Wormwall Sweeper. Every card in the deck is pretty good right now, though. There's no, like, duds at the moment. I guess the worst one is probably the Monoist Sentry. Let's just take the land, pass all the cards of the other colors. I guess we're going to take a land, might as well take the Mythic. And then Mental Modulation or Cloud Sculpt Technician. Cloud Sculpt Technician is good with Starwinder. I'm not the biggest fan of the Mental Modulation. Cloud Sculpt is pretty bad, though. Because it's not always a 2-1, and we don't have that many artifacts, and a lot of them want to sacrifice themselves or whatever. Sure, we'll just take another Cloud Sculpt. We don't want to play it, though. We're just taking the blue card so that people don't get past blue cards late and think, oh, blue must be open. Okay, so pack 3. There is an Uthros Psionist. There is Requiem Monolith, though. This is a pretty nice pickup. I don't love it in this deck because a lot of our creatures are 1 toughness. So that does factor into my consideration. But what else am I taking here? I don't really need a Survey Mechan. I don't really want Uthros. I guess Uthros could be okay. But Requiem is still pretty strong. Okay, now we'll just jam Tractor Beam. Great removal spell. This deck is really shaping up nicely. I mean, we've got lots of strong cards here. Fumarole. I'm not playing red, but I like this card a lot. Hull Carver would be perfect. I think Mechan Assembler is going to be great, though. We have 9 artifacts. This is our 10th artifact. This can make an artifact. This is when it enters. Yeah, okay. And then, like, this makes an artifact when it dies. I think this guy's going to be pretty good. I think Hull Carver would be fantastic, though. Caesarian Dirgecraft might even be okay because of these Mechan Navigators. I just really am desperate for a spacecraft. Okay, now we can get Desculpting Blast or Grav Pack. Or Wormwall Sweeper. Wormwall, I don't think will wheel, but I kind of wish it would. Grav Pack is pretty solid. Let's just take the blast, though. Makes us a flyer for this guy. Ooh. This card's perfect. The lab ship goes great with Mechan Navigators. You can even give them flying. Cheap artifact. Easy peasy. Great with Gigastorm Titan. Embrace Oblivion. Yeah, I don't think we want that. Let's just take a Gale Blade. We'll take it. We're not going to play it, though. We're not playing a second Gale Blade, that's for sure. Beamsaw Prospector number 2. All of a sudden, the Embrace Oblivion's looking a lot more playable. My cards are so bad with Requiem Monolith, it's not even funny. Sure, we'll take a Hymn of the Faller. I think this card's better than Requiem Monolith for us, honestly. I wouldn't mind a second Lost in Space, but we'll be fine here. I might add in these Cloud Sculpt Technicians just for synergy with the Requiem Monolith. Like, I might just want to be like, boom, boom. Get the good guys in there. Cut an Ilvoy Gale Blade. I've got enough 1-drops that are more synergistic with my deck. I'm never playing 3 Cloud Sculpt Technicians. Ilvoy Operative. How did Plasma Bolt wheel, but the random spacecraft didn't? I'm not that surprised, but I mean, I'm kind of surprised to see Plasma Bolt with 2 cards in the pack. Okay, let's make some moves. So many of our cards die to this. It's crazy. I think we might just run it like this. I don't want the Ilvoy Operative either. Creature count right now is at 14. Bum bum bum. Don't love Embrace Oblivion here. Let's do, I mean, how many 1-toughness guys do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of my guys are 1-toughness. Now that I have a couple more warp guys, though, I can warp them in. So I have 9 things I can ping. Oh, gosh. We're going to try it like this, but the Requiem Monolith is on dicey ground. Anyway. Booyah. And as I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the people who support my content over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you have been enjoying my videos, you've been finding them helpful, you've been finding them entertaining, and you would like to support my work, then Patreon is the way to do so and support my mission to make draft more accessible for everyone. Huge shout out to those who support at the credits level. It makes a massive difference. And now let's get to the games. Okay, well, we've got a reasonable hand at the very least. Very defensive. We're going to hold out to get our full value from Hymn of the Faller. I'm fairly confident in my late game, which is why I'm willing to play the Monoist Sentry, combined with the fact that I have a couple ways to leverage it, just being an artifact, like discarding it to Alfarial or whatever. Okay, Requiem Monolith looking really good here. Turning this into a 3/4 and also... Do they have a counterspell? Of course, they have the only counterspell in the format. Why wouldn't they? I'm not surprised. The game continues. My opponents wouldn't dream of not having the perfect card against me. No, I'm kidding. Most of the time, things are pretty straightforward. But, like, I mean, in the dark, I almost always just think it's correct to jam in these situations because you don't really know what your opponent's playing. And if they're missing, yeah, you want to just start getting your engines rolling. So they're playing 3 colors. Sure, so they get a... Endless Sands can protect it, which is interesting. So they just were holding up Endless Sands to protect their guy. gonna Zoa, sure. Let's just make them use their Endless Sands. Yep. Yep, I'll keep that. Okay, Quantum Riddler's looking great here. Lash Whip, sure. I'm gonna go in this way so that I can do the maximum pain, and then I can warp this in and draw 2 cards. Endless Sands doing some work here. Monoist Sentry has been pretty useless in this matchup. Survey Mechan, sure. Oh, they botched this. Oh, they messed this up. It's funny because this was going to be so hard for me, and now it's super easy. Because I was going to not be able to tap the Nanoform Sentinel, but now I can just tap the Lash Whip Predator again. Because now they have to chump with this guy. Uthros. Wow. Okay, so they can now use this thing. So they're dead, yeah. Okay, perfect. Boom! Got the win. Monoist Sentry didn't do much that game, but that game is also proof why we're somewhat playing it, is because it didn't even matter that we were down a card, and in some matchups would have done some nice defensive work. So I think we're going to keep it in for now. At least that's the logic, where it's like we have enough advantage to win without really caring about the fact that it did nothing that game, and so we have such inevitability. Gosh, that one card is so messed up. You just draw 2. You're just like, yep, I'm empty-handed. I'll draw 2 now. And then I'll play it again in the future and draw 2 more. And anytime that I'm drawing when I have no cards in. So if I have like an empty hand, I can just draw 2. Pretty good. Ooh, nice little hand here. On the draw, but we have some nice defensive options and some good top end options. The dream. Now all we have to do is draw some lands. Okay, we're keeping. Okay. Alfarial is interesting. It makes me want to play this Beam Saw. So I can discard the Emissary Escort later. It's actually pretty good for me. I want to sacrifice that if possible. Okay, Alfarial. Ditch the Escort. Gigastorm Titan is going to be good in the future. We'll double spell with it and something else down the line, I think. Green-red, okay. We're going to sacrifice the Lander to the Self-Craft Mechan. Counter on Alfarial. Now we have 2 3/4s. And this one has Death Touch, so they are going to have to block it with something sizable. Sure, Fungal Colossus. Maybe I should have done that differently. I should have attacked. I mean, I didn't think they would block. But then I could have played this thing and this thing. Tenderfoot, sure. Stinger, sure. Well, that's the perfect draw. This turn, let's just attack for 3. Sometimes people will make this trade even though they shouldn't because they're like, oh, I left my guy up to block instead of stationing, so I guess I have to block. When in reality, like holding back my 4/4 is implied blocking in a way. And now I'll just play this guy. Because I get the artifact from this guy. So I get like double that. And this thing also has Void Trigger. Otherwise, I was considering just going boom, boom, boom. But this adds more power to the board. And I have plenty of cards. Sure. And now I get to warp this thing and get credit for it. We'll warp this. I really want to get an artifact into play to trigger this guy. That is a perfect artifact to draw. So it's whenever only triggers once each turn. So I'm going to save my second artifact. Play Synthesizer Lab Ship. This does not give flying. Boom! That's pretty excellent. Nice little victory for the home team there. Nice. Our deck is sweet. We've got great cards. We've got great synergy. We've got great power level. I feel like I said a couple of those same things twice, just in slightly different ways. We are cruising. And I'm free. free falling. Or I guess the opposite. We're free climbing. Like the person that climbs up El Capitan. Alex Hornold? Hommold? Something like that. The rock climber guy. Pretty happy with how our deck is performing and just its overall power level. Sure, we'll keep this. We need to draw a land, but we're on the play. This thing can help us find a land in a pinch. Okay, let's just make sure we hit our land. Perfect. White, green, okay. So we'll probably ditch. We want to hit our land drops. Let's just ditch the escort. And they probably don't view this as a huge threat. So they're probably just going to station up their worm wall sweeper with everything. And then we get to draw 2 cards with our Starwinder. Which is decent. I'm starting to regret not discarding some of those lands because I think we've drawn 5 lands in a row. Actually, no more because we kept a land on top with our Surveil thing. We've drawn a lot of land. Okay, that's going to help us stabilize, though they probably have a removal spell. Okay, hopefully they can't kill it. I doubt that that is the case, but we will hope. Auxiliary boosters, they can't kill it. Let's go. Just gonna play our biggest guy. Tap down their flyer. Hold back on defense. Blooming Stinger, sure. That is scary. That's a great draw, though. 2, 3. Sure. I think we have to make that trade, unfortunately. Maybe I was supposed to wait a turn before doing that. Yeah, it definitely seems like I was supposed to wait a turn before doing that. I'm just supposed to take the 3 there. Because I could just draw a removal spell. I'm not really liking my odds here. Yeah, we've drawn way too many lands this game. If I'd kept my Quantum Riddler, I'd be at a slightly higher life total, but then they just attack all out with Sun Dual Adepts and double strike it up. Yeah, I was afraid of them just equipping this thing. Yep. Unfortunately, we did not draw the spells we needed this game. We could have potentially held on one more turn, but like this thing activating was going to be a problem. I couldn't really let my life total get too low. I needed to just draw a removal spell, and yeah, that was a rough one. I think we drew 7 lands in a row at one point. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm pretty sure we saw a land with our Surveil draw card, and then we just drew a land every turn after that for a while. This is a great hand. Mech and Navigator could be super good in our deck, but we just didn't get enough spacecrafts. I didn't prioritize them enough because I saw them in the wrong order. Like, I didn't get this. I think I saw the spacecrafts and then I saw Mechans afterwards. I could have taken a Dirgecraft, but I think Dirgecraft is just worse than what I had available. Okay, Chrome Companion, sure. This is a very dicey use of a removal spell for sure, but I think it's going to work out decently. Starwinder's unnecessary in this game. Because I want to hit my land drop so I can play my 4th land on time. Okay, that's not the best. Beautiful. Sure, we'll keep that. Nice. This wouldn't have been a good removal target anyway. Okay, so they had a kill spell. Let's just use our mana the most efficiently we can. They probably have a way to kill this. Yep. And every turn we're just spending all of our mana, because now when we get to turn 7, we can use both of these on the same turn, which is pretty nice. Ditching Starwinder instead of Lost in Space is feeling a little bit bad, but okay. Okay, we'll play this. Count on our guy. Draw a couple cards. Bum 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 bum. Even though we're a little bit light on stuff, we're going to stop on our upkeep because we might want to Lost in Space on upkeep to try and draw another spell that's useful. Okay, Red Tiger Mech and Warped for maximum aggro is kind of wild. This is an easy block here. We're not going to block the Red Tiger Mechan. Maybe they have +2/+0 and indestructible. But like this keeps our power the same so we can still kill them. And if they have like Dubious Delicacy, we don't want to jeopardize our 4/5 or 5/5. Okay, so we win now. We just have lethal on board. Boom, got the win. We're back to our winning ways. That was a weird line, but maybe they just knew they were dead. But like they could have just held back their guys on defense and tried to like block my guys. The all-out attack was a bit aggressive. Yeah, so far so good. I would love to have Cryogen Relic in this deck. Cryogen Relic's a really nice little artifact. People are snapping those ones up very aggressively these days. You don't get to see them that late anymore in your packs. Still, our deck is great. I think this one could go the distance. We keep playing well. Oh, baby, this is a great hand. We're not going to play the Sentry on turn 1 because we're going to save it to discard to Althariel. Because this Escort does a very similar thing, but does it without having to... while also being able to attack in the future. Okay, we will ditch the swamp. Then we will immediately recoup our card advantage by drawing 2 and discarding 1. Then Monoist into Starwinder will draw us a couple more cards. They don't have a counter spell and they don't have a removal spell, or they don't want to use the removal spell. It didn't feel like they had that. Ouch. No blocks. This is a pretty easy warp of this guy, I think. I draw 4 cards. Yeah, because they don't want to block my 2/3, so they're just like... Yeah, we're looking pretty good now. Starwinder, 4 mana, draw 4. Also going to be a 7/7 later. I am liking our chances here. Siege of Impact, always good against me. I feel like I play a lot of these decks, so I maybe need to make sure I value this card properly, because it just like is always good against the decks I play, and sometimes it's not the best card in a vacuum. Let's just attack with everything. We're willing to do a double trade here. Save our tractor beam. Sure. So we've got this thing we can start activating in the future. If we draw a land, we'll just play the Starwinder, hit them for 2, draw 2. Mouth of the Storm, okay. Okay, I changed my mind. I decided to deploy as many threats as possible. I can bounce my own tractor beam to take them out of the storm. Another engineer, sure. Okay. Playing this guy feels like a recipe to lose. This guy could be really good. I think it's too slow, though. Yup, grab, kill, grab, kill, grab, kill. Germinating worm, sure. So I want to get rid of this guy. I want to get rid of this guy. There's so many things to get rid of. Okay, they cracked their lander first. Don't need that. Don't need that. This should be pretty decent. And then I get to trade with the biomechan, so they don't get to have the threat of activation hanging over my head. And if they do activate it, I'm in great shape. Beautiful. Beautiful. Everything's going perfectly. Adding tons of power and toughness to the board. Grove Strider, sure. Sure. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. 4, 8, 10, 12. Boom! Got the win. That was a close one. Mouth of the Storm almost had me. Okay, I will say, I was hating on the Mechanizoa during the draft, and I said I would never play this card, and I have never played this card. And now that I've been playing it, I've been finding a lot of uses for it. So it could just be the sort of card that is innocuously doing a lot of work, or that whenever I play against it, I just beat it because of my general skill level. No, that's a very vain thing to say, but like, I don't know. I could just be beating Mechanizoas because I'm beating them, like not because it's a bad card. Like I just have like a better deck because of the other cards, and Mechanizoa is fine, or like it gets played weirdly, or I don't know. Because I was like not impressed with the card when I first saw it, and then every time I play against it, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. But I guess maybe the card's like surprisingly solid. I mean, I feel like I've been drawing it in a lot of spots where it's been winning me the game. Or maybe it's just this deck is really good for it. I don't know. I'm liking it though. The one copy. The Miser's Mechanizoa, as they like to say. Gosh, Giga Storm Titan was great there too, getting a like huge amount of power and toughness into play. Pretty awesome. We are battling. We are in a battle here. Okay. I'm not gonna keep this on the play. This hand is so much better. Let's ditch the emissary. Because Beamsaw Prospector being able to maybe get me a land in the future is pretty decent. Decline. Maybe against red-white, I'm supposed to give them the lander tokens. So I don't just take 10 damage. Okay, here we go, Alfariel. Beautiful. We're going to ditch the Void Forge Titan because my life total is already dicey. No attacks. Remnant Elemental can be double blocked. Wow, they're orbital plunging my... Oh my gosh, we're so dead. Oh my gosh, giving them landers might have been the call. I mean, we're definitely just playing this guy because he blocks everything and he's huge. But like, I'm not liking the chances here. I could have played Mechan Assembler and then blocked with Beam Saw and then... I'm thinking this game would have been very different if I had just not made this guy a 4-3. Just gonna play another big creature. Okay, okay. Come on. I mean, Mechanizo would be pretty good here. Unfortunate to keep drawing lands because it makes the Quantum Riddler hard to use anyway. Like, I need to draw a spell next turn so I can play the spell, play my land, and then draw 2 cards the following turn. Ah, well, that was going to happen regardless. Because the Starport security was going to be able to tap it. I would love a Starwinder here. That's a great draw. That is a great draw. It's a little bit dicey, but we're going to play it like this. Oh, no. The army of 1/1s is coming. Oh, this double block is certainly happening now. Sure. My 2/2 is going to get replaced, though, because this thing is going to make an artifact. I don't really have any void synergy left in the deck. Let's just ditch this. I'm going to definitely hold the lands because I've got my 2 draw discard guys. Yeah, okay. That's unfortunate. That's really bad. Huge draw. Massive. Boom. What a sequence that was for us. This is looking pretty good for the home team at the moment. Oh my gosh, now it's looking unassailable. I think we got him. Okay, they have way more lands than me. I have 4, 6, 9 power in the air. And then they have 1, 2. So they'll tap this guy down. They'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. This guy will be tapped, and then I'll attack them for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They won't be able to. They'll be able to block this. They'll be able to stop 3. But yeah, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers, and they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. So this is one more turn to be defensive and patient, and then I can alpha strike them. I could attack with this guy too. I don't want to have to worry about it though, because I don't want them to be able to top deck a Void Bolt and get me. Or a Nebula Dragon or something. Banishing Light, sure. So I get rid of this thing. And then they have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. The smallest 3 get through. Block here, block here. Oh. Yeah, I'd rather keep the Desculpting Blast. So they can block my biggest guys. They can block 1, 2, 3, 4, and take 4. Sure, we got him. Boom! Mission accomplished. Whoa, if we win the next game, we're into Mythic. That's kind of exciting. Let's hope we can do so. I mean, we've been playing really well, and our deck is awesome, so I see no reason why we couldn't get into Mythic with this. I think it's important when playing to focus on the games themselves rather than the ranking. That's just a personal philosophy I have. I think it's better for trying to improve. It's better for trying to make sure that you're like focusing on the things you can control, because sometimes you're going to lose and you can't have any impact on it, but you can always focus on playing well. Of course, it's easy to say that when you're winning. You're like, ah, yes, I'm just focusing on playing well and the results are coming. But sometimes you play well and the results don't happen, and you just have to accept it. And, okay, this is a keeper, but I wish we had a 2-drop. We could still draw one. We have a couple draw steps to find one. Yep. Give me the 2-drop. Okay. Let's deploy our stickier threat. Alfariel dies and doesn't do much, but if we play the Monoist, then if they kill it, we have a 2-2 to block with the following turn, and then we're really building up our board state. The fact that they played Caveron on turn 3 means they definitely didn't have it in their opener. Yep. This is why we played the Monoist, because it makes us an extra blocker. This is going to trigger their Void cards, I know. Okay, sure. We're going to Lost in Space this turn in response to the Landseeker using its lander token. Or I guess not. We'll just use it now. And then they can use their lander token here. Because 4 damage is a lot. Yeah, we'll keep that on top. At the very least, we can discard it to Alfariel or sack it to Selfcraft Mechan. So they didn't want to redraw the Cav Landseeker. That's interesting. I suspect they have a bunch of removal in their hand. We're just going to turn our 2-2 into a much bigger creature. They have a lot of cards in hand and a lot of mana to work with. And that's going to be game. This card is not beatable by me in this position. Dang it. Fair enough. I was going to play the Requiem Monolith, but getting a 4/4 into play to try and pressure through this slivers is a better move. Yes, we are not winning this game, unfortunately. We don't have enough. I guess if we draw Quantum Riddler, maybe we could kill them fast enough for it to outpace the slivers, but some of the slivers have been removed. We got another 4/4 into play. We're doing our best to keep pace, but I don't think we're going to be able to keep it up, unfortunately. We're drawing a bunch of extra cards every turn, which in theory should help. I think we need the Riddler, though. We already used our Lost in Space, unfortunately. I guess we find our bounce spell. That could also buy us enough time to get there. Okay, sure. This guy's kind of useless to me anyway, so soaking up 6 damage is pretty reasonable for him as a use. I wonder why they didn't just play the Perigee Beckoner. Oh, they're playing another Cav. Okay. Interesting. So this thing could hit them for a huge chunk of damage. So they're dead next turn. They just don't know it yet. Because this thing gets plus X plus O, where X is the greatest mana value among other artifacts. So I play this. So they'll have base power toughness 2/2. And this will give it a 6 enough to kill them. So I don't want them to know that I have that coming. Oh gosh, we're so close. Oh my gosh, they're playing Perigi. That probably means we got him. They don't have any flyers. Void Forge Titan can definitely make some blocking moves. 2, 4, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I take 4, 6, 10. 2, 6, 10. Because they didn't know this was coming. You have to disguise sometimes. If they played a Virus Beetle, it could have stopped me, but... Boom! That's how you get into Mythic right there. I saw them play the Hive Pool and I was like, I'm toast. And then you see things happen and they all materialize and let's go into Mythic. It's always satisfying. I've been in Mythic pretty much at will, but it's still satisfying to get there. 753. Well, we'll have one round to go and we'll see how that feels. When you get into Mythic towards the end of the season, you usually start out a little bit lower than higher up in Mythic than you normally, with a higher number than you would have normally. Sometimes I've spawned in at like 200 when I get there early in a month. This is right at the end of the cycle. So, a nice little finish to the month. Feels good. A sweet deck to get it there with, too. Definitely a good feeling. Great hand. Monoist and Starwinder are great together. They're mulliganing. This is looking like a good game for us. We are in good shape here. We've got our Silver Fox pet at the ready. Perfect. There's our second island for the Starwinder. Oh my gosh. This card's messed up. Draw, discard swamp. Damage. I am sad. Okay, we could definitely lose this now. Hellkite's a strong card. Okay. Yep. I know they're gonna get to play the Caveron now, but I think we're just supposed to play our cards out. And hope they don't have a second red source. Okay. Sure. Sacrifice this. This thing is now online. What do I want to tractor beam? I kind of want to tractor beam their flyer, but their flyer's going to kill this guy. They can't even cast it right now, though, is the thing. Let's just do this. Spend all of our mana. And then next turn we can play Mechan Assembler and hold up Desculpting Blast. Or just play Starwinder and attack with Grav Pack to draw 2 more cards. Probably a smart attack from them. They might have a mountain to get their dragon down now. Nope, no mountain. So they might have +1/+1 indestructible and reach. Okay. Let's just play it nice and slow then. If that is indeed what they have, we will let them use it to kill our Grav Pack. And make a couple of 2/2s for our trouble. Because they were going to kill it when they got the dragon mana anyway. And now I don't think they're going to attack me, so we can play Beam Saw. Because we want to get our hand as empty as possible. And if they do kill the Beam Saw, we get a guy anyway. And we draw a card with Void Forge Titan now. Nice. The longer they go without getting this dragon into play, the better for us. We'll buy ourselves some extra life points, get another 2/2. Especially because that thing's going to die when they play the thing anyway. Okay, so they don't get anything back. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Play land. Boom! Let's go. I was considering playing the Starwinder. And look like that. We go up 250 places almost. Nice. 509 is a good spot to be. And I am very happy with how this draft went. I mean, you got to see it in action. This was a very close draft. We managed to beat some really tough competition. The Sliver win in the second to last round was particularly awesome. And, I mean, that last game, you could say it's unfortunate my opponent didn't get a second red, but they were playing 4 colors, and that's what happens when you play 4 colors. Blue, green, black, red, yeah. So, yeah, we had a really sweet deck. I think we built it well. We didn't end up stooping to playing the Technicians, but we had a lot of really strong cards. Everything played well together. Starwinder was really, really solid. The Quantum Riddler was fantastic. We had really good stuff with the Synthesizer, Lab Ship, especially that combo with the Escort. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. And even the Requiem Monolith did some great stuff, even with all of our 1 toughness creatures. That's going to do it for this one. If you made it to the end, leave hashtag stars, because this deck had all sorts of stars, including the Starwinder. So hashtag stars to let me know you made it all the way till the end of the video. Also, like, this guy's dreaming. These guys are kind of doing some, looks like they're doing some nighttime. I don't know. This thing's it's a star themed set as well, outer space. But yeah, hashtag stars to let me know you made it all the way to the end. Mechanizoa surprise all-star as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun making this one, and I'll talk to you next time.